10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Alright, before the key,
5,
still just gonna do
4,
meta and
3,
I-beam, making sure
2,
that I keep my cycle
1.
stacks. By the time I'll want to use I-beam, it'll be back up. Why does that guy look like he's walking out? Hopefully threat's not an issue, because we have a marksman hunter, but maybe he's not a misdirect enjoyer. Okay. Setting my focus on one of the Wicklighters. He caged the one that I set my focus on, so I'll change it to the other one. Pressing on my immolation auras while this gets grouped, and just opening the pull up with a blur. Stunning before all the ads die for the souls. I should be hitting the mole herd now, so I'll swap over to it with my next blade dance. Get my kick on that mob. Don't know what this guy's play is. He's actually just waiting for that one to die before pulling this one. Are we going to take this into the Overseers then? I guess so. I'll knock it in, and I'm going to cleave off the Overseer. Ooh, my god. Gotta be careful for threat here. I'm going to Fear Sigil, because it stops the knock on these.
Beware.
Although they're going to get knocked on this one, so I guess it didn't really matter that I did that. No boots, so that's good. Set my focus on the Wicklighter and continue to just spend stunning before these mobs all die, again, just for soul generation. Everything's about souls.
Beware. Beware.
Sound was flashpoint going on me. I'll set my focus on the far Wicklighter kick.
Beware.
Take it around the corner. They're going to do another stomp here, so I'm going to step out, throw my glaive, and I'll hunt back in. That mob's dying, so I'm going to swap to this other target. And honestly, I'm going to swap to the mole herd, because that's actually the priority kill now. Stunning once again, just soul generation. This has been a very odd way to pull this that I have not seen before, so it's kind of fucking with me. Full flame on cooldown. Once this thing's dead, we can move. We might actually be done with trash, depending on what this guy's plan is. Hey, Jinikon, how's it going? Hoping a soul drops. I did not get a soul. I'm officially in partial panic mode, because I don't want to lose these souls. I'm going to do... Okay, he pulled that. And I'm good. Yeah, and we're just moving through, so... I'm going to hit a Fellblade to make sure I pick up the souls that I dropped back there. I'm also just trying to continue generating on this. Gonna get my MORs out as I come in. Lorien Candleflame is on me here. Going to Chaos Nova for souls. Gonna hunt. And then start moving over here. You can see the trail actually lights up for whichever way the card is currently going. So if you see the tracks light up, you need to get the fuck off them. Pressing MORs before I overcap. Watching this boss charging. Misery being pressed again just for the soul generation. Cart's on us. I do want to put my mark on the boss though, not on the cart. So every time I swap back to the boss, press that Chaos Nova, or Chaos Strike. I'm going to Chaos Nova here for souls again. Get a bunch of those. Spending on AoE.
Beware.
Actually unfortunate that he did that. Gonna wait for more guys to come out before I throw another Reaver's Glaive here. There they are. Once again, mark goes on that, then I'm hitting the cart. Next cart goes down the other way, so we're safe where we are here. But I'm going to want to get this off this cart in a second. I'm going to Fell Rush right out when the cast finishes there. I probably should have taken it to a further one because that was so sketchy. Throw my glaive, but I'm not moving. Coming over here to Chaos Nova. Again, souls. Arcane Mage still beat me on boss stamp, surprisingly. Very, very barely, though. I'd say Havoc buffs win, but very soon, as it turns out. Picking up a soul so that my stuff doesn't expire here. Being very careful on threat. And I have my focus set on one of the Blazing Fiends, so that I will not be having any problems with one of the casts going off at least. Leaving my group to try to do the other one. Good luck to them. Stun for souls. Get a misery for a soul as well here. And just make sure you don't get bonked. They walk up to your tank and then cast a circle under their feet. Get that kick. This candle's going to die, so I'm going to swap to the highest health candle. I didn't know they could overlap that Surging Flame cast. I've never seen that.
Kick.
Gonna use Hunt here. Just defensive on this blast. Again, stunning for souls. Swapping to the highest health task worker. As these are just like dying right now, I'm just gonna save my Sigil of Spite for the next pull. I'm going to ping the one that I'm kicking, setting my focus to one of the far away ones. I'm going to press a Sigil Flame on this, and make sure I pick that up. Use my Immo Auras after I use my Blade Dance. Throw another one. I'm going to throw my Eye Beam here. Stunning for souls, and like that. Get my kick. I'm going to blur this next Quenching Blast because this is going to hurt. And then we can always line of sight if we have to. I actually have a different plan for what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of the circle, then it's going to cast the Quenching Blast, and I'm going to meta immune this one. Meta immune. Could have also nether walked, could have line of sighted, any of them work.
Only the strongest survive.
Okay. If you're curious what went wrong there, it's really as simple as everyone in your group should be interrupting one at least. And then other than that, you're supposed to cycle stops, which is not really feasible on that pack whatsoever. The only way that it's workable is a VDH comp with a Boomkin, and then AoE CCing for long enough that it never casts again. But if everyone in your group just interrupts one, like we have 5 interrupts, we'd even interrupted 4 of them consistently every time, instead of me being the only interrupt on that second set, it would have been fine. On this boss on pull, normally I would press Netherwalk. I'm not going to bother with it here, just because the key level's too low. But you can Netherwalk the first one, because the timer's weird. And then after that, for every other Dousing Breath, they're all exactly 1 minute apart. For this, ideally you want to get all the candles lit. Every candle that you light makes it better. I'm going to stand on a flat here so that this won't hit anything, because you want the candles to not be lit. Or sorry, you only want one candle to not be lit here. Because now it's going to incite flames. We come over here. It's a safe spot. And then right after this disappears, we step out of it, because now it's going to light that one on fire and give us a debuff for lighting it on fire. And right after that goes off, you press Blur. Your Blur is going to cover the Enkindling Inferno debuff and this Dousing Breath. And it'll be up for every single one. Barrages are coming out. They're all starting in the same area, which is not good, because all three of them are going to get it consistently. This one's fine. Actually, we got 6. Like, if you could light all 8, you just won't get a debuff here, but if you get like 6, it's fine. And again, they're clearing a candle over there, so I'm shooting it at a flat, which will always go between. They got 2 over here, so we're going to get 2 debuffs on this one, which is fine, but not ideal. In a fully coordinated group, you just only ever get the 1, everyone just shoots it. You know, we have an X marked, so I'd shoot over there, and then if I don't want to deal with it in melee, because the range can just, you know, do it, then you just let them. Player gets pressed. And this Wicklighter barrage, it can go on you if you have less than 3 ranged. It pryos ranged, so ranged will always get it. But if you have 2 ranged, or 1 ranged, or 0 ranged, obviously it's going to have to pick melee. So it will do so.
Beware.
Pick us, be max melee range, step to the side. Sight flames, go to where the candles went out. As soon as the fire's gone, you move back out of this spot. Moving out of that area. And gonna be my last blur of the fight in a second here. And again, as long as you're using it right as that fire comes out, it'll be up every time. It's exactly a minute apart. Don't know what they defensive to fuck that up. I'm just killing the boss at this point. It could do the same as DH and Bark skin everyone, just like we blur everyone, so that should never happen. I don't think this guy's pulling back. Wait. They press Lust. I'm gonna Chaos Nova for souls, and I'm gonna press a Misery for souls as well. I'm gonna let them go for a bit before I go, because chances are they're gonna be doing the skip, and if they're slow, I don't want to lose my souls. I pick up my souls now and follow behind, because with DH, the skip is literally just walk up. Cool.
Your survival wasn't necessary.
Nothing you can do about that, but lost all my souls. Sick. Gotta make sure the kick is done every time on this. You can only get every second as DH, but to really just look to kick on cooldown. And after these are destroyed, you want to get away from the wax. Ideally, your whole group would kind of stack up together so you don't end up with them far away from each other like this. But this is still fine. Pickaxe should break that one because it's the furthest away. It's not necessarily that you want to pickaxe the furthest one, but because it's not stacked with any other ones, it's a single, and it's far away, that's why it's the highest prio. This was very lucky drops that are literally perfect. You can break anyone with this, it doesn't matter at all.
Kick.
And I'm gonna fell rush through for the drops. Ideally, he'll take it and break that one, which it looks like he's doing.
Kick.
I'll get the one over here. It's not an ideal one to break, because it could be doubled, but it's fine.
Kick.
I don't get one here, so someone might not break that, but hopefully they do. I will send meta here. I'm also gonna drop a darkness and melee on this one. I'm not really sure where to use it with our druid cooldowns. Mistweavers tend to run out of healing around this part of the fight. I just kind of press it when I'm used to. Okay, we're just leaving one up. That's fine. This fight's like dead. It's definitely not ideal though. You always want to clear those. Having an extra one up is really bad.
Kick.
Just gonna press my blur here. Fellblade for the DR. Gotta make sure I hit all those. Boss dies. Gonna drop Sigil of Flame. Generate.
No more Candlekin. We can be free.
I'm still shocked that I died to that charge that way. I even melded. Meld breaks it during combat. I assumed it would fix whatever the fuck they did to me there, but it's not.
We can use big candle cart to escape.
So our tank's gonna go ahead and pull, and we're gonna stay on the candle cart. You want to put a candle into it and keep it above 90%, and when these ads come back, you want to interrupt them. This is not going to stop now because I had it at 90. Stun that. I'm gonna throw a stun there. Okay. And you just want to keep those ads kicked. Our VD8 should really move this guy across over to here, and it would be fine. But instead he has it with a 150% damage amp, making it a lot harder for himself. At this point, I'm going to save meta. I will put another Reaver's Glaive in to get these killed faster so we can move the card again. I'll Fierce Sigil because it works on this, and they're just not really kicking. Saving my Chaos Nova as the next pull's gonna have a bunch of small ads, and that will give me more souls to stun on that it would just to send it on those three there. I'll throw this in the cart. Our VDH is slow, so I'm kind of gonna play behind this actually. I don't know where our VDH is, so I'm just gonna stun. And I'm just going to spend all my Reaver's Glaives in this area as fast as I can, because you don't get to keep them.
Kick.
For Reaver's Glaive, then I'll hunt.
Kick.
Now that this guy went and pulled this horror in specifically, our cart can't move again. If he had done nothing, the cart would be able to move. I'm gonna knock the... Oh, yeah, I don't have my NG belt knock on this character. If I get it back to 90, it might be able to move, but I don't know what the tank's doing, so I'm just gonna pull the rest of the mobs. Alright, and we should be good. Now, I'm actually going to wait on pressing my I-beam here, but you want to press your I-beam before you get in the cart, or else your Cycle of Hatred stacks will fall. Right here, I'll press I-beam now, and I'm going to throw the dynamite.
Some dynamite in. Let's go.
And throwing dynamite on the darkness here, it does matter until he gets to 90% health. Once he gets to 90%, that's all that matters. That's as low as you can get him. That will actually count going into the boss fight. And 90% is really easy to get. Like, I think 2 people could do it solo, but... So at this point, we're now done, and don't need to bother anymore. I will also say there is a bug on this cart, and I don't know how it works, but these guys can get aggro on somebody, and they will auto-attack you and kill you on the cart. During this, you can actually vengeful out, but you need to glide before you touch the ground, or you will get stunned. But if you want to not get stunned for whatever reason, you can do that. Now, I'm going to quickly tag something so I'm in combat. And that's just, again, so my Cycle of Hatred stacks won't fall, because the timing can be pretty tight. I'm gonna hunt in, spend and get my thrill buff before I start pressing Immolation Aura, throw another Reaver's Glaive, and stun just to get it out. And I'll be using meta here. And I have no reason to really kill one of these targets faster than the others, so I'm going to swap targets to the highest health one, and I'll try to consistently do that if one is getting really low compared to the others. Throwing a Sigil of Misery for the souls. Swap targets a little bit here. And interestingly, these corridor creepers are the ones with the brown nameplate. They're actually these corridor sleepers at the edge, and these asleep ones don't have the debuff that goes on your tank that actually really fucks them up. I don't know why we're pulling all these, we're already overcount at this point for sure. Watch out for the suffocating darknesses. 1 probably won't kill you, but 2 will. And if the key's high enough, 1 will too. On the way to this boss, you do hit a patch of darkness where you won't deal damage anymore. It's just a small stretch there, but yeah. Then once the boss is pulled in, swapping and hitting the boss. The Shadow Blast mechanic is fully meldable. What's the most effective way to die on this boss? That would be to hit the candle with the Shadow Blast. Came in through another candle in because that guy put it in early. I'll show what to do with that Eternal Darkness later. But basically, any mechanic that hits the candle will reduce it. And that Eternal Darkness is like big group dam, but it also fucks up the candle. So they're kind of just like grabbing them at random for no reason. But there's really like 2 specific times to do it. The best way that my group does this is when Shadow Blast goes out, whoever has Shadow Blast will be bringing a candle in. So I'm going to meld it. And even though I melded it, I'm still going to bring the candle in. And then the next time that we get one is during the darkness. And I'll show the timing for that on this one as well. So, I'm going to go. I'm going to press blur on this as well. And then right as it ends, the candle goes in, and our candlelight is good. It won't always go to 100%. Someone else grabbed a candle during that as well as me. That guy at Shadow Meld just didn't use it for no reason. Probably doesn't know. The way that I do it on this fight is I'll Shadow Meld the first Shadow Blast, I'll Nether the next one, and then if you get a third, usually Shadow Meld is back up. If you get one and you don't have Shadow Meld or Nether Walk, you really are going to need to both blur and then probably Fell Blade and Blade Dance it. So this one, as I mentioned, is just going to be a Nether Walk. I'm going to grab a candle during this. And this boss dies at 55. I'll drop my darkness on this one. And I'm also going to go grab a candle because I just don't trust them. When you have the candle, you can also hit from out here. And it doesn't matter if the candle hits 1% during that mechanic, but it needs to be refilled before that cast truly finishes. He just nuked our candle, don't do that. You don't take bonus damage outside of this, so you should never ever do that. Also, if the candle does hit 0, then the boss really fucks you up. He has a cast that does... It's a big fear, damage taken increase, and a haste reduction for the rest of the fight. Well, that's Darkflame out of the way.